James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Yeah! Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah!
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we got another absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about some of the things that are required, I believe, to be a good leader, great leader, or whatever, bad leader, if you don't utilize those things. So I believe that it's so important that people that are out there that are leading understand some of the things that is necessary to be able to actually lead and attain certain goals and objectives. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So how you doing? How you doing, Dr. Cooley? How you doing today?
I am doing great, enjoying this beautiful day. And yes, this is a topic that somewhat has been discussed on the show before, but there's so many, concepts regarding leadership, and we're just going to, actually, this show is really about interviewing you mostly about this topic, but of course, I'm going to chime in and, hey, audience, please join us and we invite you in for interactive conversation.
Yeah, interactive conversation, because every time that I'm put on a hot seat, Michelle try to drill me, but I'm always ready. So Michelle, first of all, it's just your seat. You look like you are real short.
I am short. I'm petite.
So can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Yes, the title of today's show is called Leadership by Design or Development. That's a question. Understanding the balance between inborn traits and learned skills. So we're going to talk about the dual nature of leadership, born or built with leadership, the role of personality and genetic disposition, the power of learning and experience in leadership growth, the influence of environment and culture, and striking the right balance for effective leadership. And, like I said, we're going to drill Dr. Cooley about this specific topic. So here we go. So in your opinion, James, what defines leadership?
Hold on. You're not even introduced the guest.
We're both the guest. Okay. Raise the roof. Woo-hoo. Okay. All right. So you're a leadership guy. And throughout your career, throughout your military career and, professional corporate career, what defines leadership as you know, in your opinion? And we're going to ask a part B to this question. But can you tell the audience, in your mind, in your opinion, what defines leadership?
Well, why don't you tell them what the definition version of leadership?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. I don't know the definition. Everyone has their own definition. That's what I'm asking you. What is your definition of leadership?
Well, leadership is a couple of things. A leader and leadership is two different things. First of all, leadership comes from the organization that is going to, got a product, got a company, got whatever, and there are certain rules and regulations that they want their company or organization to follow. But in order to develop leadership, the goals have to be defined. Everything have to be defined in order for you to figure out which direction and what is the company or organization want to accomplish in that. So it requires having the right people in the right places, the right leader. Like I said, it's a difference between leadership and leader. And the leader have to have a very, very good understanding of what the leadership want to accomplish. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's a mission. So first of all, I think we need to talk about a leader. A leader is a person that I believe that have to be well-rounded, have to be open-minded, have to be able to listen, have to be able to gather their thoughts based on the inputs that he or she might be receiving, and just calculates all of those things in order to make a formative um, decision on what the team or organization need to be doing. So that's what is required for leadership, is to have the right person to guide, to show, to lead. Best definition of a leader that I know of is a leader is a person that knows the way, goes the way, but most importantly, shows the way. So whether it's in the military, whether you got troops, uh, etc., or whether you run in an organization, or you got teams or several teams, everything is dictated on that the leader that is leading those things. Now, when it comes to leadership,
Well, but before we go into the deep in the deep discussion on leadership, we kind of want to see, nature versus nurture debate regarding being a good leader, an effective leader. So, nature versus nurture, basically, are you born a great leader, which leads to great leadership, the traits that you develop from your, from family, or is it a collection of learned behavior?
that's a good question.
Hmm.
I believe no one is born a leader. I mean, we are born. You might be born in a family or uh, kings or whatever that might be, where you expected to uh, be a leader. But I don't think anyone is born a born leader. I believe that certain things, environments that you might be born into, might help you shape your leadership abilities and skills. But all of those things are learned because generation changes um, quite often every 10, 15, 20 years. And what might be working today might not work tomorrow. So all of those things had to be acquired by first being a follower.
Hmm.
Yeah, you cannot lead unless you have followed. or you can jump into a leadership role and not know anything about it, and it's trial by error, trial by nature. But I don't think it works that way. So you mentioned something about a born leader. I mean, yes, no. I mean, in my opinion, it's not. And so um, it have to be learned. It have to be a follower. You have to be able to understand as you are growing up and potentially going to be led to a leadership role that you have to acquire some good. I always talk about uh, having two bags.
Mm-hmm.
You grow up as you mature, as you grow up in the organization, not just organization, but everything that you see. You're going to run across some folks when you're doing your following where they might not be great leaders, and you have to uh, be able to grab some of the things that you see that is bad at that time and put them in your bag on your left. I mean, it will come back to you later, and then you're going to encounter some leaders that are great, and you grab some of the skill sets and some of the things they're doing, you put them in the other bag, and you do that over a period of time as you grow, because that's going to help, in my opinion, shape you as a potential leader when you're placed in that situation or circumstances. So, born, we're going to get back to that. Born leader, I don't think that's happened. But leadership abilities, as we grow and as we learn, as we mature, I think we develop those. And I think that we learn. So, first of all, you got to always look, listen, and learn.
Yes.
We develop those qualities, and we formulate our own um, leadership style by using the 4 different leadership styles. When we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about that one in a minute. But we're going to take a station break right now, Michelle. But we're going to come back and we're going to continue to talk about this because I think it's so important. So if you want to be part of this great conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, was it E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and 84 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and today we're talking about leadership styles, leadership abilities, what makes a great leader, in my opinion. So that's what we're talking about right now. I have had the pleasure and privilege to be in leadership positions pretty much my whole adult life, and I have learned from some of the best, served in certain organizations at the highest level, and I just know what worked for me.
Mhm.
Could be different from you and the situation, circumstances that you might be in as a leader, but I still think that there are certain qualities in great leadership, great leadership that are required. And we're going to talk about those things as we go on with this discussion. So I turn it back over to Michelle, who is drilling me on this topic.
Well, I'm not drilling you. This is just a conversation. So my question is, do you believe what extent do you believe personality traits influence one's leadership style?
Okay.
And is that something that's detected early in life, whether it could be a teenager or, college, high school? Um, do you believe certain personality traits? Because sometimes you might come across a really quiet person or someone who appears not to be, maybe you would say, not assertive, but sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover. So can you kind of discuss that?
Yeah, I mean, I can only talk about me. That I believe, yeah, there are certain personality traits that I believe that's necessary. First of all, you have to be approachable by the people that you are leading. It cannot be all hands off, and they can't even get to you and share their how they are feeling, because they might have things that is going to make the organization better. But if we are unapproachable, they are not going to share those things with you. You cannot be an authoritarian person. That's it's you are always right, 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 right. Um, when I worked in the Pentagon and the White House, I mean, I had an opportunity to see what leadership was all about because a lot of the leaders that I had an opportunity to witness, most of them per se, had an open mind about everything. They knew what needed to be done. They knew what's needed to be done. And a lot of the leaders, when you get to the general officer level, they don't give a whole lot of direction. They just say, hey, we need to do this, that, make it happen. But then you have leaders under them that are trying to interpret what they are asking to do. And because many of them are afraid that they cannot approach their boss and ask them exactly what they want done. So that creates confusion in what need to be done. And that also create problems if you got a small budget or something
Hmm.
and you have to get all these things done without direction because uh, if you don't know what the main guy want done and your boss don't know what the main and he telling you and you really don't know what needs to be done, so you just are going around in circles. So that's why I say you have to give clear directions. You have to have an understanding, a complete understanding what you need to do and how you need to coach your team. encourage your team on what need to be done, because if the blind is just leading the blind, I mean, nothing is going to get done, nothing is going to accumulate. And it's all about respect, just like what Audrey was saying.
Yes, one of our viewers, Audrey Rattler, she has been posting her comments. She says, you have to learn how to lead. Respect plays a big part in a great leader.
Yeah, so respect. If your people respect you, and if you respect your bosses, etc., uh, you're able to formulate a plan on achieving certain goals. And one of the things that I always, in my leadership style, and always formulated, if I did not know the why, it's almost impossible to achieve anything if you don't know why. A person, your boss or whoever organization tell you that you need to do this, this. If you don't understand why you need to do this, you're not going to be able to convey that to the people that are working under you as a team, because no one knows why it need to be done. We just know it need to get done. I mean, that's kind of crazy. A lot of organizations work that way right now today.
Yes.
So a clear understanding of what need to be done uh, is required in a lead. I know Audrey asked that question as well. Uh,
Well,
Being able to identify people that are working under you. Everybody can't do uh, everything. I
mhm,
mean, everybody's not cut out to, um, I mean, do certain things that's over their head.
mhm, mhm.
So you have to identify the right people that you know that can do the job. You just can't throw anybody in there and expect to get it done. Um,
Well, let's talk about how leadership. Do you believe now everyone's raised differently? Do you believe culture, education, and even mentorship shape leadership development?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
The environment that you are raised in
Hmm.
plays a major role in formulating your styles. Just like I said, several styles of leadership. Leadership. So the culture that you are raised up, or the culture that you live in, helps shape certain things that you might want to continue doing, or you might not want to. Once you get out there and understand, what the missions is, the goals are, uh, so that plays a major role in your leadership styles that you're going to develop. Mentorship, you know, that plays a huge role, because if someone is mentoring you and they ain't got a clue, you ain't got a clue, and they saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, this is what I do. Well, it ain't working. I mean, so you want me to follow what you're doing, and I see that it's not working. You got the wrong mentor, and I mean, you just don't follow everybody blindly. So that plays a major role in things that is going to shape your leadership style. Most importantly, I think, Michelle, is being able to step back. I always talk about look, listen, and learn. Sit back and observe a lot of things. Observe a lot of people who's in leadership positions. Observe people that you know that even in an organization that you might be in. I ain't talking about you personally, but
Hmm.
uh, some people in the organization that you are going to trust a little bit more, that's going to guide you a little bit more. And some people in the organization that are in leadership abilities, their leadership abilities, it is non-existent. So in order to formulate what type of leader that you will be if you get that opportunity, you have to take all of those things in consideration. I said consideration,
Mm-hmm.
and figure out what works for you depending on the goals that the organization have that you are leading. What worked for you. And I I have always, in the leadership position that I've been in, I have always been honest with the folks that work for me. Now, you can't tell them everything, uh, you know, but you can tell them what they need to understand, that from leadership, in order to get things accomplished, it just doesn't always come from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
Also comes from the bottom up. Uh, and so everybody opinion, everybody uh, has a voice in providing their input. Even the janitor, I mean, in the organization, everybody might be able to contribute to what the goals are. But first of all, you have to tell them what the goal. If you're building an airplane or something like that, people need to understand why. Just like I mentioned earlier, why this is the goal of the
Mm-hmm.
organization is to build this fighter jet.
Yes.
That's the goal, and so it's going to require all of these different departments, and everybody must be able to do their portion. Even just like I said, from the bottom up, as long as people understand what the goal is, long as they understand that what they're doing brings purpose in helping achieve that goal. Um, it everybody join together. The teamwork is so important.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll talk a little bit more about that after the break. But there's also a question I want you to think about before we head to break. Are there just some people out there who are not meant to lead? And we'll discuss that after the break.
I have met many, and but we'll yeah we'll talk about that right after the break. But to answer your question, I can tell you right now before we take the break, yes, there are people that should never ever be in a leadership position at all. But we'll talk about that one after the break. I tell you, if you want to be part of this conversation that we're having on leadership or anything else, all you have to do is just go to the comments on the platform, whichever platform that you're watching us on, ask any questions. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And I'll tell you again, we're talking about leadership abilities, the required qualities, I think, that makes a good leader. And, just being able to understand whatever you are leading, that everybody plays a role, just like Michelle said during the break. It says it's not always from the top down, it's bottom up, including, an organization, a janitor, everybody has a role, because they need to know that what they're doing is bring purpose, and it also brings joy in making sure that everybody do their job to achieve the goal. So turn it back over to you, Michelle.
Yes, before the break, James, I asked you a question. Is everyone meant to lead? Are there just some people out there, and it's no disrespect to them, that, first of all, don't want to be leaders, and and for whatever reason, they are not meant to lead?
To answer your question, this is what I believe, this is what I think, this is how I feel. Let me say that. This is what I believe, this is what I think, this is how I feel. Many folks out there are not meant to lead anybody, because they don't formulate the mindset to lead. And a lot of people are cast into leadership positions that lack the ability to lead, because they were never trained properly, or they was not very good followers, and they're leading certain organizations or companies or divisions or department when they don't have a clue what need to be done. And I mentioned this, and I don't talk politics that much, but I believe that in the current administration, half of the people that are in the cabinet has no leadership abilities, never been in positions like that. Now they're leading, and you see all type of things that when you don't have the experience and you didn't try to get the experience, or you don't reach out to your people and ask certain things, everything go wacko, because you don't know what you're doing, but you want to pretend like you know what you're doing. And your people certainly don't know what they're doing, because you're not listening to them and you're not taking their input. So to answer your question, I believe that there are certain folks that I'm talking about people in general are not meant to be in no leadership position at all. A lot of people, and many of them do not want, they just want to stay in their little area. They don't want to advance up because they're
And
afraid
there's
that
nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think anything wrong with it. But
Mm.
if you, I mean,
I
I'm gonna say
think
this,
some people are content being where they are and they're truly happy.
and there are many, but
Hmm.
then sometimes we see people are content with where they at.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can get somebody that might be content with where they're at, and you work with them, and you see leadership abilities in them, and you explain that to them, and you show them. You just don't throw them out there in the fire.
Well,
Uh,
that's
and
true.
they see once you tell them that they have potential, and you kind of point certain things out that give them what we call confidence, and sometimes they come around and they want to lead. I know a few folks like that say, hey, I don't never want to be in a leadership position, blank 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 blank. But then um, they would kind of cast into it by people that saw things in them, and they pointed those things out, saying you can do this, and they turned out, in my opinion, to be great leaders.
And there's some people who don't want to, let's say, have direct reports underneath them, because the higher you go in the corporate chain or just any type of leadership, the more responsibility you have. And there are people who do not want that responsibility, even though they can be great leaders. They just don't want that responsibility. Um, Being a leader, in my opinion, of a small group or large group of people, it takes work. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you have to be emotionally ready and mentally ready to assume that a leadership role, in my opinion. But let's talk about different leadership styles. There's transformational, there's transactional, and there's servant leaderships. So my question to you, and let's go through all three of them: transformational, transactional, servant leaderships. Are each of these leadership styles, and we can go one by one, more influenced by nature or nurture? Let's start with transactional leadership: nature or nurture.
You know, the three leadership styles that you just mentioned, all of them are very, very important, depending
Mm.
on the situation or circumstances that you're working with. Um, Transactional, um, I think that's both nature and nurture.
Mhm.
Uh, Nature meaning that you have to be observant, like I mentioned, to things that
Mhm.
are happening around
Mhm.
you. Nurture, uh, hopefully you had leaders that taught you or pointed out certain things in certain situations and certain circumstances that you might be facing this one day. Let me feed you right now. You know, you have to be able to, I recommend you be able to think these things up before you're making a quick decision.
Mhm.
You know, uh, everything to come up before you just make an irrational decision right off the bat. Uh, think it out. That's being nurtured into an individual. So, um, but you have to have a great mentor that's going to teach and lead you in that direction. Uh, so I think it's a part of both
So
nature.
we got servant leadership.
Servant leadership, in my opinion, is being able to take care of the people that are that you're leading. You have to be able to take care of their needs, to make sure that they are up to the task, that you don't give them assignments where they are going to fail. I mean, so you that's why you have to be able to identify the strengths and the weaknesses. I wouldn't, the pros and the cons. How you, I don't like to use the word weaknesses, but that's how it is sometimes. And so not only are you, servants to your leadership, the leadership above you, but you have to also be the same for the people that are working for you, making sure that they have the necessary tools, resources, understanding of what is needed in order to complete tasks and goals. So all of those, just like I said, all three of the leadership styles that you mentioned are important.
Okay, well, I think we're got about a minute or so. We're getting ready to get ready to break. So let's talk.
You missing transactional.
No, I said transactional. I said transformational, transaction. You mentioned transactional.
Well, you didn't mention
transformational.
Yes.
Okay, I think you just mentioned it. But okay, transformational, is that nature or nurture?
Transformation is nature in a sense, because in my opinion, transformation is coming from the inside out. Everything that you're doing, and it's certain times, it's certain things in a transformation that we generate based on not just our gut, but based on the task and the why and whatever we are trying to be able to do. So, in transformation, sometimes we have to change up because new data, new technology, all of these things could kind of like throw a project of certain things that need to be rethought of. And transformation leadership is, just like I said, is understanding all of those things and being able to adjust to what is required to complete the task.
I think we're headed for a break right now.
Yeah, we got to take a station break, but you were talking about some things that I just love to talk about, especially from a leadership perspective. So we're going to take a station break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to finish this up with the last segment. And if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get your answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. mentality, described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions. James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And just in case you're just not tuning in, we're talking about leadership abilities, certain skill sets that is required to potentially be a great leader, and that everybody in the organization or company plays a major role in reaching the goals of an organization. So if you want to be part of the conversation again, it ain't too late. All you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Turn it back over to you, Dr. Michelle.
Thank you, James. So let's talk about, crisis situation. There's always trials and tribulations regardless. It could be whether you're in the corporate or military or just a personal life. So let's talk about different leadership styles in a crisis situation. Can you talk about, how does one decide what leadership style that they will take on or present during a crisis situation? And I know it's situational. It depends on the situation. So I'll give you an example. So let's say it's your home life, it's some like financial emergency or a medical emergency. You may need that person to step up as a leader who's more patient, who's not all over the place and getting everybody, riled up and just, exasperated. So can you kind of talk about, at least in your experience in the military and in corporate America, about what leadership style that you used in a crisis situation?
Well, just like you just mentioned, it all depends on what the crisis is. Understanding what the crisis might be. You mentioned something about home life, finances, and in a situation like that, the leader, everybody need to have an understanding of what is required. If it's you ain't got the money, you ain't got this, or whatever that is, in a family situation, let's sit back and rethink some of the options that you might want to consider in doing, depending on what that is. So it's kind of hard, Michelle, to answer that unless it was clear and pointed out. But in many crisis situations, for as companies, organizations, just like I always mention this thing, having an understanding because things do happen and it create crisis where you have to put the water out. But one of the things that I always mention is you have to sit back and think things out. And I'm gonna mention this to you, Michelle, and then I'll explain it to you in a minute. What is something that has the same spelling, same letters in it, but they mean two different things. The reason I say this, and I know you know the answer because you done heard many of my speeches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's this one it's two words, but they have the same uh letters in it, but mean two different things. What are those two words, Michelle?
It's create and react.
Yeah, because you don't hear it pretty much all. Reason I said that is in crisis, most of the time what we want to react. React, and first thing come to your mind, you do in a crisis or a situation, because we don't sit back and take that split second to think about that. And many times when you react, you make the wrong decision when you do that. So it is react and it is create. I always recommend that we sit back, take that split second, come up with different things before we react. And so we create a quick vision of things that might get us out of this situation. So that's having vision, that's being able to think about certain things. So create is being able to take that split second, think about certain options that you probably hadn't thought about before, to help come up with a solution that might help you resolve whatever crisis that you might be experiencing.
And to tag on to that, leadership. A person could be there are a lot of people who have leadership quality who could be a leader, but it depends on the situation. Your personality, not you, but a person's personality may make them the right choice to be a leader in that particular situation. It's all situational. In another situation, that person needs to be a follower because maybe they don't have the skills necessary to lead in that particular situation. They need to listen. Well, you say, look, listen, and learn. Look, listen, and learn, and be a follower, and take heed to the leader who is running the show in that particular situation. Basically, my thought is you have to know your place as a leader and when to lead. What are your thoughts about that?
That is true. Now we're down to the last minute of the show, but not only your abilities to lead, but you have to know the people. You have that you're leading. You have to know the strengths and weaknesses, like I mentioned. You have to understand the goals of the organization, and you have to understand certain things like resources and all those things are needed. Tell you what, we are out of time. I love having these conversations with you, Michelle. And I tell you what, I want to thank Michelle for putting together another fantastic show. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.
doctor.